And now we're seeing so many different formats. We've seen combat jiu-jitsu, EBI overtimes, the ADCC rule set. So there's definitely a lot of different ways that people are trying to either make it more entertaining or just to determine who's the best of the best. But when it comes to CJI 2, in terms of your favorite format, do you enjoy the chaos that the quintet style brings?
That's you actually framed that question extremely well, Alex. That was well done on your part. The way you framed it was there's a basic dichotomy in jiu-jitsu as a spectator sport. Do we go entertainment route, or do we go who's the best jiu-jitsu player route? When it comes to who is the best jiu-jitsu player, the most pure format is no time limit, almost no referee intervention on a big mat. In that way, you just get to see who's best. But it's also the least entertaining form of jiu-jitsu. Like only a die-hard jiu-jitsu fan would enjoy watching a 2-hour match of two guys who are really good going at each other. Like even for someone like, I mean, you're a hardcore jiu-jitsu fan, but even for you, 2 hours of watching that would be a challenge, especially given that in order to win such a match, the two athletes would have to pace themselves in a way where neither one expended too much energy. So there would be a dreadfully boring first hour, and then finally you'd see some action and drama towards the end. In addition, not only is it less satisfying as a spectator experience, there's also practical considerations. What promoter could possibly run an event like that? You just couldn't do it. You'd have matches, 15 matches, each one 2 hours long. You could never do this. So from a promoter's point of view and a spectator's point of view, the question becomes, okay, if no time limit is the most pure form of jiu-jitsu insofar as it answers the question, who is the best athlete, what can we do to take it the other way to keep what is important about jiu-jitsu, but take matches down to a manageable length for the promoter and make them exciting for the fans? If jiu-jitsu only did no time limit matches, I believe jiu-jitsu would not grow as a sport, because in order to grow, you need spectators, you need interest. And so there's this tremendous tension in jiu-jitsu promotion. We want to preserve what's best about the sport, the effectiveness of it, its ability to enable a smaller person to defeat a larger person, to be realistic. But on the other hand, we need to grow the sport, which means it has to be entertaining. It has to be something realistic for a promoter to put on under realistic conditions. And so somewhere in the middle, you've got to find a compromise. And that is the eternal challenge for jiu-jitsu promotion and the fan base. Everyone has their own way of doing things. Like ADCC goes more towards the realism aspect. Okay, who's the best athlete on the planet? Quintet is more towards entertainment because it introduces chaos into the equation. For example, you could have someone who's incredibly good at jiu-jitsu, but he might lose to someone who's much less skilled in jiu-jitsu to him just because he's already fought 3 guys in a row and he's exhausted. So now you get to see the best guy in the world who's completely exhausted fighting another guy who's much less than him, and that's drama, that's chaos, that's things you can't really prepare for so well in the training room. And so a match that normally would have a very certain outcome, now the outcome is completely uncertain, and that's a big part of what makes entertainment. The things we find most entertaining are the things where the outcome is the least expected. We like upsets, we like chaos, and that is what we find entertaining. I think Craig's done a really good job of finding a middle path between the two. There will be chaos in this one because an athlete can stay in the center, and you will see a lightweight have to fight a heavyweight. That's going to be some interesting matchups in there, let me tell you. You're going to see people fighting in a state of exhaustion against someone who's coming in just fresh. So there is an element of chaos. I do like the fact that he's done it in terms of ADCC weigh-ins rather than just a team weigh-in as they do in traditional quintet. I think that's an improvement. So I think he's done a fine job of bringing in many of the best athletes in the sport and introducing a degree of chaos into it, which is going to make for a tremendous spectator event. Craig, of course, is a master of social media as well as jiu-jitsu, and he's done a good job of bringing in eyes to the event. It's within one show, it's become one of the most watched and talked about events in jiu-jitsu history. Craig likes to apply shock tactics on social media to garner interest. He always does this very well. And I think fans are excited because this is a match where, this is a tournament where there could be some crazy upsets, things that you never would have anticipated, just in terms of where do the matchups go. The teams are kind of interesting. Some of the teams are gym teams, and some are just, I think they're calling them misfit teams, where they just pile a group of talented people together, and that sort of chaos thrown into the normally very orderly world of jiu-jitsu should make for a very entertaining tournament.